Hi Sagittarius, this is your September and October horoscopes with me, Lada from astrolada.com, and I'm doing this horoscope together, September and October, because a lot of the trends, they flow into each other. The trends that start in September continue on to October and even into November. That's why I wanted to put the 2 months together to give you a fuller picture. And this is for everyone who have their ascendant, sun or moon in Sagittarius. And particularly your ascendant, make sure you check your ascendant sign. It's the astrologically most tangible. It shows the most tangible results, but only if you know your exact time of birth you can know your ascendant sign. And you can find it out with my birth chart calculator. So what happens for you in September and October, Sagittarius? Well, the first big trend, planetary trend that starts is that Mercury will stay in your 11th house for 2.5 months, September, October, part of November. And this is one very auspicious transit, because Mercury never stays too long in a house. Usually it stays for about 15 days or 20 days and then it moves away. But in this case right now, it will be retrograde. It will stay for almost to the middle of November. And the 11th house is the house of gains. And Mercury is the planet of business. So what a lot of you who've been working on some projects, on some goals, on some business as well, they might start seeing rewards for their efforts. They might start seeing the results of this, because the 11th house is the house of gainfulness. It shows the fruits of your work. The 10th house is the work that you do, is the hard work, is the projects that you do, your career. 11th house is getting the rewards, whether it's like some title you can get, some name added to you, for example, PhD or doctor or vice president, the recognition you receive for the work well done. So this process might start, or maybe a bonus that can come to you, or if you have your own business, maybe you've been putting some project in work till now, and in September, October in particular, you start seeing the returns of it. You start seeing how it's working out for you. So again, it's gainfulness, especially in mercurial matters. And mercurial matters, if you have studied something, now you can get the results of those studies. Sometimes it's titles, a diploma that you get. If you have worked on some project, it might be some bonus or promotion that can happen, or financial remuneration. And 11th house also rules friendships. And there will be a strong focus for 2.5 months for you for social acceptance in your social circle and friendships. And you might be revising some of your friendships and restructuring them in some way, only allowing the ones that are beneficial mutually for the two of you. And you can gain some support from mercurial people in your life who can become like benefactors to you, which is either young people or erudite people, people of knowledge, people with skills as well, people with skillful artistic people is Mercury as well. And you can benefit through friends or through such people who give you some knowledge to you, who can help you further progress your goals or your project on your own with their knowledge or their skill as well. And you can make more contacts as well. When Mercury is for 2.5 months in your 11th house, you can make contacts which are beneficial, which are supportive of you, which are better friendships as well. You can expand your social circle, but at the same time, because Mercury goes retrograde, there might be some people from the past, from your social circle, that come back, that you hear from, and you revise the relationship. You have the chance to revise this relationship, this friendship, this associate, this playmate or teammate or friend from the past, and then move forward again with this. But gaining new friends as well and new contacts and expanding your network is usually this is what happens when Mercury is in the 11th house. This continues for 2.5 months again, as we said. And some of you might get rid of some friends as well, when they revise the relationship and put more order there. And then you can also revise what you do with the money that you earn from your business, because the 11th house is the gains from your business. You might put into structure more how you redistribute those finances, whether you invest them in new in advertisement or in paying salaries. This is especially for people who have their own businesses. When Mercury is retrograde in the 11th house, they have a chance to revise those finances and make them more efficient and redistribute them and manage them more productively. At the same time, Mars goes into your sign from the middle of September. And this will happen again in 2.5 years. So a long time, you know, before this repeats again. And so for 1.5 months, from the middle of September till the end of October, Mars will energize you. Mars is a great planet for Sagittarius people because Mars is very friendly to Sagittarius energy. The Sagittarius energy is going after plans, goals, you know, jumping into adventure, doing difficult stuff, dangerous stuff, you know, being initiative, being progressive. And Mars really helps you with those things. Mars, if you've had fear till now to do something, if you're unsure, Mars will give you an injection of confidence, an injection of even a bit foolhardiness, like a bit of a recklessness. But sometimes we need this extra push, you know, to inspire us to do the right thing. And you might have to do a few battles as well, because Mars is the planet of fighting. When it's in your sign, people might, you know, press on your toes a bit more. Or usually it's the person himself who becomes more reactive and a bit more impatient with others, because Mars pushes you, go, do this. So you lose patience with people who are wasting your time, or people who are complicating things for you, or who are being inept in some way. So you might have a few, you know, head-to-head confrontation with other people. Just try and work out a bit more. If any conflict comes, because Mars tends to bring conflicts, remember it's temporary. It might continue just for a week and then it will pass away. And the hard period, usually Mars transit, is for about a month. For about 1 week its influence, when it passes exactly your sun or your ascendant or your moon. And even if it makes you more reactive, it creates more critical days, but try to not to get too hot-headed. But some of you might be called from outside to lead battles, to protect something of theirs, to defend themselves against something, or to protect something they believe in, to fight for something they believe in, or maybe some battle court, you know, in some case. That can happen. And Mars usually gives you the, you know, the impetus to do this. And Mars also brings more things to fixing to you, because Mars is the planet of fixing, using your logic and initiative to resolve problems. And a few more of those problems can crop up for your Sagittarius, but Mars will help you resolve these hopefully efficiently. So don't lose your temper, don't go into overreaction mode. It's a temporary influence. Okay. What else is happening? At the same time, let's see where the positive influences are. Venus will be in your 10th house, and this is in September. So in September you have some support in regards to your career, and authority figures. So maybe an authority figure shows more tolerance, more diplomacy towards you, and you being diplomatic with authority figure, whether it's bosses or parents or teachers, whatever, people that are above you in social standings in some way, you can receive some benefits from such people, because Venus is the smaller benefic. Or you can just improve a relationship with such a figure, authority figure, or figure standing above you. And wherever Venus passes, we receive more fulfillment day in our life. We receive more contentment and more pleasure. So working on projects, a career, can prove to be more satisfactory. Career projects, working on something, or even sometimes Venus, it's a very weak transit and it's very short-lived, only a month, but it can improve your chances, your image in front of the world, your status in front of the world, and you can perform well at your job as well. You can impress people a bit more, but your best way to act is through diplomacy. Diplomacy, even though Mars can push you, you know, to starting from the middle of September to be more, you know, step on people's toes. But Mars will give you the impetus to move forward, not to be a shrinking violet, while Venus in the whole of September will help you be a bit more diplomatic about it and not antagonize people too much by trying to push your agenda, which Mars wants from you. So there is like a bit more ease that comes into it, or improving of circumstances in regards to your career or goals and projects, and a bit more popularity in regards to social status when Venus is in the 10th house. And then in October, Venus goes into your 11th house, where it joins Mercury. Remember, we said what Mercury will be doing there, restructuring your social circle, reevaluating. But Venus will make sure that you also have some beneficial results already in October that you spend some good times with friends, that you feel evaluated, that you feel treasured and appreciated by a social environment, that you start getting some rewards and some gains already, that improves your gains. And just be social. October is a month where you benefit a lot from being social, being involved with others, being, you know, making connections and links, which later on, because two benefics are in your 11th house, and two benefics can always make a house blossom, which is social, again, I repeat, social acceptance, social recognition, gains and results of the efforts of your work, you know, so all those things can improve a lot, and your friendships as well. So what else is happening for Sagittarius? There is an eclipse. There is an eclipse, and thankfully it does not affect Sagittarius directly. You know, it's happening, one is in October, one is in Scorpio. Unless you have planet in Scorpio, a lot of Sagittarius sun people have Venus usually in Scorpio, in the sign before Sagittarius, because Venus is always very close to the sun. And if you have your Venus in the first 5-6 degrees of Scorpio, you can check out on my birth chart calculator. If your Venus is in Scorpio from 0 to 6 degrees, 0 to 5 degrees, then you might have a big new beginning in regards to your relationship, a big change or awakening moment about something which is unproductive in relationship, having to go away and be replaced, either an attitude towards a partner, or usually a whole relationship can be threatened and can go into some crisis period, so you have a chance to improve on it or start a new, better one. But otherwise it does not, the eclipse in Scorpio, I repeat, does not directly affect Sagittarius unless they have Venus in Scorpio. And the eclipse in Libra, in Aries, again, it doesn't fall in a difficult house for Scorpio. Well, sorry, for Sagittarius. I keep confusing. It falls in your 5th house, so matters of the heart. People that are very close to your heart, like lovers and children, they might have some, you know, a little bit of a crisis in a relationship there to be tested towards the beginning of October, the end of September, the beginning of October. So you have to be, you know, a bit more careful in regards to that. But I don't think it directly influences Sagittarius in such a huge dramatic way. And another thing that is happening is towards the end of September, the last 10 days of September, there is a very auspicious cosmic configuration happening in fire signs, and you're one of the fire signs. It's happening in Leo and Aries, a trine between Jupiter and Uranus, which are both basically very they're happening in your 5th house. So towards the end of September, interestingly enough, they can be they're happening in your 9th house, this aspect. And the 9th house is a very lucky house, so some windfall, something lucky can come to you, some opportunity can come to you, especially because Jupiter is the planet that rules you, Sagittarius. So the last 10 days of September, be open to what the universe brings you, especially around the 25th of September, because Uranus, the planet of sudden opportunities and changes, is sending a very auspicious aspect to your planet, to Jupiter. So basically you might have a sudden windfall, a sudden opportunity opening, and this influence will continue for almost, you know, it starts now. Be aware of what comes to you towards the end of September. And because this thing will again repeat to give even better fruits and better opportunities, something of a similar nature, again in the winter around February, March, and then again next spring, summer, around June approximately, when this aspect repeats again, and it's not going to repeat for many, many years ahead. So you have this window of opportunity, this trend that is coming starting from September, the end of September, even maybe from the middle of September, which continues all the way till next summer for the northern hemisphere, which is around June. And this new opportunity that comes your way will be quite lucky. It's almost like a gift to you from God. It's coming from the 9th house of higher consciousness. So it's the luckiest house as well. So it is, you know, stay open and stay tuned to the opportunities that come to you. They might be very likely connected to some travel, to expanding a mind, getting new knowledge, getting a new belief system and perspective, or seeing something from a different perspective, which changes your attitude, which gives you a bigger horizons, widens your horizons, and because of this helps you see new opportunities or old opportunities which you haven't noticed before, which can give blossom for you within the next 7-8 months starting from September. And also those of you Sagittarius who are born from the 3rd of December till around the 13th of December, 3rd till the 13th of September, or those of you who have their ascendant or their moon from 10 till 20 degrees in Sagittarius, they're having a fantastic Jupiter influence coming to them, Jupiter transit in September and October. Maybe some of you will, those born earlier, you know, will feel it in September. Those born a bit later, in the later days, will feel it in October. And when Jupiter comes, again, great opportunities. Maybe if you didn't have a work and you've been trying to get one, now you can get one. Or if you've been working on some project so hard and you haven't had success, now you start seeing the results. So maybe some new opportunity comes to you, and it's the first out of 3 transits again. So this influence will repeat again in the winter and then in the spring towards the summer. So you have an opportunity to expand on this and make it grow much bigger than before. So stay tuned in September and October if you're born on those days for the opportunities that come to you to put you on the right path, on more fulfilling and happy path. People or influences coming together to support you. Doors will open easier for you. It won't be as hard, especially opportunities for travel, for higher education, for learning something new. Some new inspiration and creative idea that comes to you. And also it can be very supportive for relationships and personal matters, especially if your ascendant and moon are in Sagittarius in those degrees from 10 till 20 degrees. It can be very supportive and strengthening for relationships and personal matters. Thank you so much, Sagittarius, and I will see you next month in November.